Hello, this is The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. It's the first book in a trilogy. We welcome you here. We hope that you will take your seat as long as you've brought your golden tickets, which are your good heart and your good intentions. Your burdens won't make it through the door, and they won't fit in the chair. So we hope to give you a few minutes of rest and relaxation in your busy, worthy day, so that you can go on and do good for others. This is chapter 136. It's called Exclusive Tastes. But just a little forewarning, we're getting back into the territory of what Hans does. Earlier in the book, we've identified that Hans is a psychopath. He's not a good guy, no matter how charming, no matter how well dressed, no matter how many beautiful cars he owns. He's a psychopath. There's no violence in this chapter to worry about, so I commence chapter 136, Exclusive Tastes. Hans ensured that Jeff would visit Bianca every couple of days to cultivate the connection. Jeff had his pick of Hans' extensive car collection to drive as he wished. He showed up at Bianca's parents' house frequently and unexpectedly. He and Bianca often went out on day excursions, and there was a tacit understanding between them that this was not a sexual connection. The ease they felt in one another's company helped Bianca open up. 2 weeks in, she finally asked Jeff about Hans. When she did, Jeff told her that Hans had very exclusive tastes, and he was not one to date or court on a whim. He was a careful man who knew what or who he wanted. He was also a very busy man. He was just not an experimental sort of guy, Jeff told her with a straight face. If there's a category more hardcore than alpha, Hans is in that category, Jeff told Bianca. He's an apex predator, and he gets what he wants. Jeff later told Hans that he thought he saw Bianca ripple with delight at those words. While he waited for his plan to ripen, Hans studied female fertility. If he was going to take the time to do this, he was going to make it easy on himself. He picked the brains of medical professionals in his sphere who talked about a period of infertility after childbirth, and he learned about the positions that could enhance the chances of conception. Hans found that part very interesting. He also ate to build up his own fertility. He stayed almost exclusively at the penthouse for the month of January. He did not bother to go to the house where he housed the young girls who ramped up his libido. He laughed at the very idea that he was saving himself for someone, and then he faced himself more squarely when he realized that he was actually saving himself for his own future and his own legacy on the planet. He knew that he was not getting any younger. He would not live forever, and he looked over at the framed key on the wall. The old man had been his mentor, Klaus Hammerling. And Hans refused to die, begging someone to kill him as the old man had. He would come and go on his own terms. He would leave living parts of himself to go on into the future. He would protect that legacy with all that was within him. Anyone who threatened that would pay a terrible price. Bianca was about to discover just how serious he was about that. During the second week of January, Jeff and Bianca got even closer. One day, she said that she really did not want to go to the beach because her period had started that morning. "No problem, honey," Jeff shrugged it off. "Let's go to the museum and then to lunch." At lunch, Jeff leaned over to tell Bianca that he had to go home 3 days from then. Bianca was taken by surprise. She told him that she was saddened by the news. I feel a closeness to you that I've not known before. I will miss you so much, she said with uncharacteristic sincerity. Jeff was surprised by how much that meant to him. He asked if she would excuse him for a moment, and she assumed he was going to the washroom. But as soon as he left the dining room, he used the phone at the front desk. He dialed the number from memory. It started this morning, was all that he said before he returned the handset to its cradle. When he got back to the table, Bianca pouted and asked if he really had to go. You'll be fine, Bianca. We'll always be friends. We will. I will go, but I'll come back. You too will leave, but we'll be together again before we know it. He said it, and she nodded. Now I'm famished, let's eat. They made the best of the following 2 days. Bianca and Jeff frequented all the galleries and museums, restaurants, and attractions that they had not yet visited, and they redid a few that they liked best. Bianca insisted on going to the airport with Jeff on the day his flight left. He had told her that he was planning to take a cab, but she told him he was being ridiculous. My father's driver will take us. You know how much easier everything is when a vehicle has diplomatic plates. Why wouldn't we take advantage of the privileges that my father earned? When Bianca asked her father for the car and the driver to take Jeff to the airport, he told her to treat Jeff well. He has connections all over the world. This guy's a big deal, Bianca. He's known as a real estate magnate in New York, and he has friends all over the world. Everyone seems to owe him a favor, and they're always looking for any opportunity to be with him or to repay him. Treat him well. 2 days after Jeff flew back to New York, Hans called Bianca to ask if she might like to go out to dinner on the weekend. He said he had tickets to see a major rock band if she was interested. Bianca did not even try to sound nonchalant about it. She gushed about how pleased she was by his call, and of course she wanted to be with him. That's the end of chapter 136 of The Flower of Freedom. The next chapter is 137. It's called The Seduction. We invite you to come back for that. But just remember, to get through the door, you need your good heart and your good intentions. Thanks for coming. I remain your friend, Deborah. Bye-bye.